Welcome to the class of 2021 commencement. We have done it. Please be seated. And welcome our senior class president, Jordan Stanson, to deliver his welcome speech.
Good evening, everyone. A week or two ago, I received an email notifying me that the class president normally gives a welcome speech at the start of graduation. When I got this email and I didn't immediately look for an excuse to get out of it, I realized how much times have changed. If you had told my kindergarten teacher that the scared, shy little kid who was very hesitant to go in the classroom would be delivering the welcome speech at graduation, she might have called you crazy. But here I am. I'm still a bit shy at times and a little scared to be in front of this many people, but at least I'm not in the hallway crying right now. In fact, one of the coolest things about ESM is that they never forget about the shy kid. My kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Walters, and all of the other amazing faculty and staff at ESM never forget about the quiet students and never give up on the struggling ones. Teachers here work tirelessly to bring the best out of their students, no matter how hard of a time we may give them. Throughout the years, our classes encountered many unique challenges along the way. We endured the renovation of Pine Grove Middle School. For a time, we attended Pine Grove East, aka St. Mary's. We learned a lot of things that would help us in the future during our 7th grade year there. From navigating the crowded hallways, we learned problem solving. From eating and playing sports in the gym and cafetorium, we learned to make the best out of what we had. Needless to say, at ESM, the lessons didn't stop in the classroom, which is fortunate considering that most of us didn't see a classroom much during our junior and senior years. Going into school this year, I had plenty of concerns about what our senior year was going to look like. Were we going to be able to play sports? Were we going to be able to learn in person? Would we be able to have an in-person graduation? These questions and many others just like it kept me up at night during the last few weeks before school in the summer. Walking into school in September for the first time in 6 months felt surreal. But when I first approached the school, I saw our school spirit, and it was still there. It was intact. Our class advisors were there cheering for us, along with lots of other faculty and staff. They were excited to see us, and we were excited to be there. At long last, it was our senior year. It was up to us to make the best out of the 10 months we had left at ESM. But there were definitely hard times. We were always worried about being shut down again or being quarantined. Still, we didn't let this fact stop our fun during our senior year, and we learned to live in the moment and not take anything for granted. Now that the school year has come to an end, I am pleasantly surprised with all the things we were able to do given the health guidelines put into effect because of COVID-19. Yes, we did miss out on a lot. However, our class showed everyone just how special we are and how when the going gets tough, we can come together and face the challenges together. We learned how to make celebrations out of small events, we learned to connect in different ways, and we fought for any opportunity to be together as a class. Being here tonight, all of us together for the first time this year, surrounded by the people who mean the most to us, is something I will never forget. There are so many people who have helped us to get here. There are unsung heroes behind the success of this amazing class. Two of these unsung heroes are none other than Mrs. Kiwanis and Mrs. Midiga. These two outstanding staff members have stepped up in a big way for our class this year. In the midst of a global pandemic, they both agreed to become our class advisors, which is something that neither of them have ever done before. They knew going into this year that being a class advisor would be no easy task, but they overcame all challenges thrown their way and made sure that the job got done because they knew how much it meant for our class. For that, the class of 2021 cannot thank them enough. And for all the people who have supported us to help us get here today, including our families, our community, and ESM administration, we will always be thankful for the role you played in making our high school careers so memorable. Although some might refer to our class as the COVID class, we here at ESM didn't let COVID define who we are and what kind of year we wanted to have. Even though we were sometimes apart, we are truly stronger together. Go Spartans!
Thank you, Jordan, for your welcome, your heartfelt words, and the very collective memories that you have left us with. Your leadership as class president with all the officers is greatly appreciated. Thank you, officers Garrett, Gino, and Abigail. We also thank, as Jordan did already, our class advisors, Mrs. Kiwanis and Mrs. Minica. Congratulations, everybody. Welcome to the 55th Commencement Exercise of East Syracuse Manoa Central High School. At this time, we ask the senior singers to come forward, and seniors who will also be serving in the military to also come forward to the stage to lead us in the pledge. While they come forward, we thank and also appreciate all who have served in the military. Please stand and be recognized as a military veteran. I want to introduce you and welcome Thomas Monowitz, going into the Army National Guard. Eric Callahan, thank you. Eric Callahan, United States Military Academy. And Gary Reynolds, United States Navy. Please stand for the pledge and remain standing for the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much To our senior choir members, we have enjoyed the in-person and virtual concerts and performances since your freshman year. Your talents will be forever remembered. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our educational leaders on stage who support our school and, most importantly, our students. Please hold your applause until all of the introductions have been made. I ask that our supporters please remain standing as your name is called. Dr. Donna Desiato, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Thomas Neveldine, Deputy Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Douglas Mahorter, Executive Director of Employee Engagement and Accountability. Mrs. Kate Skane, Executive Director of School Business Administration. Mr. Kieran O'Connor, Executive Director of Planning, Development, and Technology. Mrs. Megan Thomas, Associate Director for Special Education. Ms. Batanko, our valedictorian introductory. Mr. Kissling, our salutatorian introductory. Our East Syracuse Manoa Board of Education. Mrs. Debbie Collard, President of the Board of Education. Mr. Paul D. Waltz, Vice President of the Board of Education. Board of Education members, Mrs. Lori Aird, Mr. John Albanese, Mrs. Susan Kane, Mrs. Tracy Callahan, Mrs. Leah Cushing, and Mrs. Kay Gallery. My administrative team, Associate Principal, Mrs. Naomi Trivison, and Assistant Principals, Ms. Dana Vendetti and Mrs. Crystal Ward. Our Coordinator for Early College High School, Mr. Adam Shatraw. Everybody. I would also like to recognize and ask that the faculty that are sitting behind the students please stand. They have joined us today to support all of our students, and we thank them for being here. Some of them are former students going back to their elementary schools. So with that, we want to thank everybody. Please join me in recognizing all the educational leaders of our community. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to present to you the class of 2021. The 55th class of ESM Central High School. The class of 2021 should be very proud of their accomplishments as they graduate from East Syracuse Manoa Central High School. Of the 240 students graduating today, several deserve special recognition. 87 students have the honor of wearing a gold tassel, which signifies a 90+ average for all 4 years in high school. 92 members of the graduating class have been inducted into the National Honor Society. The sash that they wear designates this honor. Congratulations, class of 2021. You are my 9th class here at ESM, and you have met the challenges of your educational career in various buildings around our district. Your elementary school, your Pine Grove East at St. Mary's, Pine Grove, and then the high school. You have developed persistence, flexibility, and faced adversity. Yet, you all have found the spark in each of you to remain focused on achieving success. Every year, I give careful consideration on what my message will be to the Spartan Proud graduates. This year, my message is the sparks in each of us. Each one of you that sit before me today, preparing to graduate, must know that I and we believe in you. Each of you has a special spark, something unique and something special inside of you. The sparks in each of us is the title of your yearbook. It is the artwork of Sean Dotterer and the brainstorm title of Sean and Junior Jordan Stevens, highlighting the many accomplishments of the events chronicled in the yearbook. Would all yearbook members, students, and teachers please stand and be recognized for an outstanding yearbook of memories commemorating your last year in high school. Please stand. Thank you. Despite all of the challenges and the distance at times, your class remained as an us. You all contributed your own individual talents, aspirations, and dreams to creating a unified identity for the ESM Central High School class of 2021. These are your sparks. Today is about you and your future. You will have challenges in life that you cannot overcome alone. All of you have become really good at helping the person to the left of you and to the right of you, because collaboration is how you will advance in this world. Allow every spark inside of you to ignite. The world is too challenging and too difficult for you to think that you can always achieve alone. Embrace your spark and find people around you who will help you kindle it. Do the same for those around you, regardless of differences, and let that be a valuable piece of what you carry your entire life. There are people around you who've wanted to help you, but they just didn't think that you needed it, because your actions demonstrated you had everything under control. When we asked my dad how he was doing when he was fighting cancer with chemo, his favorite saying was, "Everything is under control." The second class that you admit that you don't know what you're doing or that you are stuck or scared, you will find lots of people who love you and will help you. But that will only happen if you learn to take care of them first. Excuse me. My dad took care of us. Look for people around you who need some help kindling their spark, and reach out to your supports, because when your spark needs help to burn brightly. Nelson Mandela is quoted as saying, "To be a great leader, you have to learn how to listen and to be the last to speak." In the musical Hamilton, Aaron Burr tells Alexander Hamilton to talk less and smile more. Graduates, talk less. Be interested in the thoughts, feelings, opinions, and experiences of others first. Smile more, and they will feel heard and respected. You will understand where they are coming from and why they have their opinions. In the end, you will get your turn. Practice being the last to speak, and continue to listen to your parents and others for advice and wisdom. Your trusted adults will unconditionally be there for you. Remember that the word listen has the same letters as the word silent. Lastly, always be gracious and seek out ways to show gratitude, even when it is not easy. This too will fuel your spark. It only takes one spark to light a fire inside of you. What is your spark? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Dare to live the life that you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward and make your dreams come true. Your spark will ignite the world." Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Desiato, faculty, staff, administration, parents, and special guests, I am very proud to present to you the class of 2021. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to introduce Social Studies teacher, Mr. Matthew Kissling, who will introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2021.
Good evening, graduates and ESM community. It's an honor to stand before you. What a year we've endured. From March of 2020 through tonight, you, the class of 2021, have all done what no one in the audience has ever done. From a booth in Panera, from your kitchen table, from a golf course, from your back patio, from your horse stables, from your basements, from your car, from your bed. You signed into our classes. Mostly you stayed engaged, and somehow you made it to the finish line. I just want to pause to acknowledge how this class has stayed connected through a great experiment. When the school Wi-Fi was sporadic, when we teachers were flying by the seat of our pants, when clubs, organizations, teams had their schedules revised at the last moment and none of us knew what the next challenge would bring, you kept moving forward. Some of you held down jobs. Some of you applied to college from your bedrooms. Some of you kept training, hoping your sports season would be reinstated. Some of you kept institutions like the ESM morning show alive. I say this because while you challenged me as a teacher to be creative, thoughtful, and intentional in this time, I want you to know how inspired I was at your ability to come together, to support one another, and generally offer kindness in a world that so desperately needed it. In the middle of a pandemic, I know those of you who volunteered your time at the diaper bank, bowled on the unified team, worked blood drives, donated to the food pantry, cleaned up neighborhood parks, or just spent time helping an elderly neighbor. Seeing you together both in and outside of the classroom support one another, listening to you laugh together, work together in those breakout rooms, and cheering each other's accomplishments always gave me hope. When I think about a student who exemplified ESM's character, kindness, joy, and presented calm in the eye of the storm, I think of your salutatorian. No one was more consistent than the young man I'm here to introduce. At times, he was one of two students who would show up in person in a fourth block class. And when not in person, he was always one of those ever-changing avatars at home. Whether he was the face of just some random gym I didn't know, I could always count on Garrett to be engaged, to be thoughtful, to be confident, to be humorous, enough not to leave his teacher just flailing in the breeze. Garrett is successful everywhere he goes because he is meticulous. I've already said it, he is thoughtful. He is precise. He will make a great engineer if that's the path he continues to choose. But he also carries this deadpan, wry sense of humor that draws us to him. Teachers want Garretts in their class. Sponsors want Garretts in their club. Coaches want Garretts on their team. Whether he was toeing the rubber in relief, defending his mark on the soccer pitch, or just playing a silly trivia game on the last day of class, he was the teammate you wanted to have. He was driven. He was a joy to teach. Beantown is getting a gem from ESM. Before he heads off to Northeastern, we have the honor to hear from him tonight. Please put your hands together for your classmate, your teammate, your friend, your salutatorian, Garrett Hockey.
Thank you, Mr. Kissling. Good evening, parents, family members, friends, shout out to PASA Council, teachers, administrators, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2021. I would like to begin by congratulating all of my classmates who have worked so hard to get to this point. Enjoy this moment. As you walk across the stage, remember that all your years of schooling have led up to this moment.
and cherish that feeling. You have all worked hard to get to this point. You should be extremely proud of what you have been able to accomplish. You are all wonderful students and even better people, and I'm honored to graduate alongside each and every one of you. I also must thank all of the amazing teachers and staff members here at ESM. They're all great at what they do, and together they provide an unbelievably strong support system for all of us students. None of us would be where we are today without the help of our teachers and faculty members. Next, a huge thank you to my family, to Mom and Dad, who would do anything for me and have given more love and encouragement than I could ever imagine, and to Brett, Travis, and Anna, who make every moment together fun and memorable. As we celebrate our great achievement today, it is important to take a moment to stop and reflect on how far we have come, how much we have accomplished. Take pride in all that you have done. Enjoy the memories you have made with your fellow graduating classmates. No matter what each of our individual high school experiences look like, we will take these memories with us for the rest of our lives. And celebrate all of your achievements. Take some time to reward yourself for the work you have put in these last 4 years. After all, this is what this commencement ceremony is all about. Unfortunately, we can't sit and recollect forever. We need to push forward and continue to create new paths for ourselves. There are always new opportunities ahead of you, waiting for you to take advantage of them. In fact, taking advantage of opportunities is one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself. I have found that being open-minded can have a great impact on your success and even your overall happiness. Personally, there were a lot of things I never imagined would be fun that ended up being great experiences. All of the AP and college-level classes I have taken, and clubs such as DEC are just a few examples. Who would have thought that I and many others would come to enjoy staying after school in APUSH every day to play our history review games with Mr. Eschbacher? It does not have to be solely academic, though. Being open-minded extends outside of the classroom, too. It could be something as simple as taking a trip with your friends. You just have to be willing to take that leap of faith when you are forced to make decisions. Often, I think we find ourselves thinking of all the reasons we are unable to do something. The classic excuses include but are not limited to, I have to work, I don't have enough time, or my parents won't let me. Luckily for most of us, that last one won't be an issue after today, as we are entering a period in our life where we will be forced to be more independent as a result of having more freedom. But back to the point, instead of quickly turning to the reasons why you might not be able to do something, do the opposite. Figure out what you need to do in order to be able to say yes. If nothing else, it's useful to be open-minded so that you can keep your options open. You never know when something may become of interest to you. I was actually a member of the Masterminds trivia team with Mr. Kissling this year. I'm signed into the Google Classroom and get all the notifications about the team, but I never once participated in a practice or a match. If you were actually on the team, you'd have no clue I was there. I was a ghost. The point is that the opportunity was always there in case I wanted to compete, and of course if my schedule permitted. Plus, who doesn't love trivia? Anyways, as you move forward with your lives, make sure to keep an open mind so that you have the ability to try new things and become a more well-rounded person. I also want to discuss the importance of perseverance before I close. Everyone experiences setbacks in their lives. It is inevitable. I, for one, have gotten used to coming in second place. With the soccer team this past fall, losing to JD and falling into second place in the league, and then basically every time I have to compete with Zach in school, outside of school, or in clubs. Once you learn to take your setbacks in stride, you'll be able to rebound quicker and be ready to take on new challenges. We should all have a lot of practice with this, seeing as how we are just coming out of a global pandemic that affected our lives in many ways, mostly negatively. Like I previously mentioned, there will always be new opportunities to take advantage of, so making sure to persevere through the rough patches and not hang your head will put you in a great position to succeed. Still being young, we haven't had the benefit of time to be exposed to many opportunities that have required us to make a choice, sometimes a significant choice. Far too often, the choice made is the safest one, the one that limits risk and is often more accepted by peers, family, and society. However, we've had the chance to listen to our parents, teachers, and mentors for quite a few years now, and in some rare instances, we've even listened to them. In using this, we can come to understand the importance of living a life with no regrets. Many conversations I've had with people much more senior than myself have led to hearing about regrets, and the sorrow that stays with someone for the rest of their lives. One thing is certain, and it's that time stops for no one. You may think you'll have that opportunity again. Some might, and some won't. Take advantage of those opportunities, and don't let the fear of failure stop you. Make a pledge to say, I tried, rather than I wish I tried. And so, for our nitty-gritty today, enjoy your graduation. We earned this. Think about being open-minded and willing to try new things. Even after you experience minor or major setbacks, always be ready for your next opportunity. And finally, take full advantage of these opportunities as you continue your journey. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you, Garrett. I enjoyed your reflection and your accomplishments, especially the advice to be open-minded. At this time, please welcome mathematics teacher, Mr. Fika Batenko, who will introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2021.
Good evening, parents, families, those watching from the comfort of your home, faculty, staff, administration, members of the Board of Education, and most importantly, class of 2021. I started this introduction with a list of Zach's extracurricular activities and his many leadership roles during his time here at ESM High School. I had also included his many academic awards, service awards, and scholarships, including the National Merit Scholarship. But Zach is not alone with all of these outstanding accomplishments. He is part of an extremely gifted and passionate class. So instead, I would like to tell you a story, because we all love stories, and that's what makes math classes go by a little bit quicker. There once was a young student named Zach, who in second grade was always smiling, determined to complete his work with quality, and was the student his peers checked in with to confirm their answer when playing Jeopardy or working on a group project. Some things never change. Mrs. Paduano adds to the story that she loved the friendly competition between these students, and when Zach was stumped, he was already asking for more help to make sure that he understood it so he didn't get stumped again. She shared another story about a conversation she recently had with another student. They were talking about calculus and the difficulty of a particular problem. This student said, "You know, it's a hard problem if Zach couldn't figure it out." Mrs. Paduano concludes that Zach's diligent work ethic and determination have been a huge factor in his success. The story continues with Zach as a 4th and 5th grader with Mr. Holsworth as his teacher. Mr. Holsworth said that, quote, "Zachary always thrived on a challenge, and it was extremely rewarding to observe his delight every time he delved into a complex problem. His expression was always that of a child who had just been served a large piece of chocolate cake." Mr. Holsworth adds to the story that he still remembers Zach's beautiful metaphor poem in which he compared his family with the solar system. I particularly enjoyed the ending of Mr. Holsworth's story. When Zach's 5th grade year was over, he, along with 3 classmates, stuck their school picture onto his whiteboard without his knowledge. Every year since then, Mr. Holsworth's students have left their pictures on his board next to Zach's and his friends. Mr. Holsworth describes Zach as a student with great sense of humor, always smiling, never rattled. A super serious student who didn't take himself too seriously. I couldn't agree more. Zach's story continues into 6th grade. Mr. Shavesty shared with me, quote, "Zach is a wonderful kid, and we are all so proud of him here at the middle school. I do remember when Zach was in my 6th grade ELA class that he was such a high reader, I often struggled to find books for him to read in class that would challenge him and still be appropriate for a 12-year-old. He ended up reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at age 12. I often spent my evenings reading frantically trying to keep up with Zach and his books," end quote. Last summer, I myself tried reading that book about Captain Nemo's adventures in the super advanced submarine Nautilus. I don't think I got past page 2. The print was too small. Since Zach was very active in DECA, I reached out to Mr. Anzalone and Mr. Mussolino to add to this story about Zach. Mr. Mussolino highlighted Zach's numerous service projects, including the Financial Literacy Project and most recently, the extremely successful Red Cross Blood Drive. Mr. Anzalone adds that, quote, Zach demonstrated outstanding leadership and professionalism. His outstanding work effort was demonstrated in the many events he planned and the awards that he won at the regional, state, and international competitions. As DECA president, he ensured a powerful experience for each member and helped take the chapter to the next level. It's difficult to highlight Zach without talking about this graduating class, though. Zach is not someone who wants the spotlight. He prefers to share the spotlight with others. Ms. Campo, his guidance counselor, said, quote, when I met Zach for his senior meeting in the fall, I went over his transcript with him and shared with him that he was the first in his class. I asked him if he was more or less expecting that, and I anticipated him saying yes and celebrating the accomplishment and then moving on to talking about college applications. However, his immediate response was to acknowledge how competitive and accomplished the senior class is and how happy and proud he is of his friends and classmates. He didn't say a word about himself or his own grades. This shows his character and how much humility he has along with his intellect, end quote. This truly does describe Zach. He is surrounded by friends and classmates who are smart, empathetic, ambitious, and most importantly, kind. While teaching the Algebra 2 and Pre-Calc classes that Zach was in, I had to go out to the hundredths place value in order to determine which student earned the academic award for that year. I taught this group of students for 2 years in a row, and it was the best 2 teaching years of my career. Through our stories, I got to know them, and they got to know me, and my own kids, really well. Together, we celebrated each other's accomplishments, and we supported each other through the tough times. Zach said that he learned the value of perseverance in my classes, and it's not about whether you got it or you don't, but it's more about how you respond when you're wrong. He said that in my classes, he learned the only way to grow is to fail and face adversity. I think that for many of you, Algebra 2 was the first class that you really had to work hard in, and you didn't get your usual high grades. But you all learned how to learn, how to study, and ultimately, you all succeeded. You also succeeded in making me a better teacher. You all challenged me, each in your own unique way. I will never forget any of you. Zach's story includes experience in volunteering at a local hospital. He said that this had the greatest impact on his life because, quote, helping others in a place where they oftentimes feel the most vulnerable has taught me the power of empathy. Volunteering in the various departments has invigorated my interest in medicine and made me realize the importance in addressing healthcare and equity, end quote. Class of 2021, you have the intellect and the ambition to fix the social inequities that you so clearly see. You started improving them here at ESM High School, and I implore you to use your strengths and passion in math, history, science, art, music, writing, public speaking, skilled trade careers to remove the socioeconomic barriers that exist in our society. You have the resources to fix the damage that has been done to our environment, to fix the social injustices you see day in and day out. The success of the future of this world is in your hands, and I have faith that each and every one of you will have a part in this huge endeavor. You will work together because the bonds you all have with each other are extremely strong. I have witnessed firsthand that you are each other's strongest and most loyal cheerleaders. While you compete against yourselves, it is clear that you want your friends and classmates to succeed. You sacrifice your own needs, your own wants for your friends, even if it means giving up something very important to you. This makes your friendships invaluable, unbreakable. And together, as this amazing group of graduates, you will make a difference. And to answer the question that was posed to me, on Senior Variety Show, if you want to know the importance of the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, search Fibonacci sequence in the stock market. You may make your first million sooner than you think. So this is where my last story, my story about Zach Sebring, an ESM student, ends, and where his journey, along with all of your journeys, begin as graduates of ESM High School. Please make sure you all come back and visit your former teachers and tell us how all of your stories have changed, have continued. Headed off to Dartmouth in the fall to study economics and computer science, it is my extreme honor to introduce to you a super serious student who still doesn't take himself too seriously, Zachary Seaburn, the valedictorian of the class of 2021.
Thank you, Mrs. Butenko, for those kind words and being a phenomenal teacher. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to welcome and thank everyone here tonight who we would not be here without. Our families, whose love and support propels us to achieve. Our teachers and administration, who are finally getting rid of us after 4 long years. And one another, who we have grown alongside as classmates. Classmates, we have made it. Tonight we walk across the stage to culminate the 13 years of our education, or at least filling in bubbles labeled A through D. This has been no easy feat, and you should be proud of yourselves and one another. Our class has had to endure the tests of time, a global pandemic, national unrest, and most importantly, Mr. Kissling's treacherous honor code. We have received a great education due to our amazing administration and teachers, and there is no doubt we are well prepared for what awaits us. I understand that this is not the senior year many of us envisioned. A lot was taken away from us. In-person learning, football games, and even our own school bells went on a hiatus. It is safe to say our senior year has been anything but normal. Many of us may be disappointed, but it is my advice to be grateful. No matter what challenges life has thrown at us over the past year, we are still standing here today. In a year defined by difficulty and loss, all of us pushed ourselves harder. We have built unity as a class through the adversity we have faced. Let this anything but normal year be a testament to our futures and that we truly can accomplish anything. Let this remind us that we can persevere through the many challenges of life. Classmates, we are just moments away from walking across a stage that marks the end. We are standing at the cusp of our futures, ones of endless possibilities. To quote Benjamin Franklin, there are only 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and the Hall of Fame doors locking at 8:51 a.m. as you rush to class. What I mean by this is that the only thing we know about the future is that we don't know anything. For the past 13 years, our lives have been structured for us, moving through the grade levels with a clearly defined path. The ending of this journey marks the beginning of another, one of complete freedom. Ahead of us stands life, my classmates. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. Tonight we celebrate with one another, united as Spartans, yet tomorrow our paths begin to diverge, to each their own. The choices we make, the endeavors we pursue, and the challenges we overcome will all look different from one another's. It is my advice to not look to others to determine the best path for yourself. The definition of success is limitless, and that definition is one you have to forge for yourself. Find something you are passionate about, and be uncompromising in its pursuit. Do not let the pressures of society stand in your way of achieving your version of greatness. Never let anyone tell you you can't, and be relentless in becoming the best you. Tonight we close another remarkable chapter in our lives. With this chapter closed, I'm sure the thought of beginning our next is overwhelming because unlike our English books, we cannot skip through the pages of life. As we begin to write our stories, do not stress if you have no idea what you want to do with the rest of your life. As young adults, our responsibilities are few and far between compared to what they'll be someday, so use these years to explore your interests. More importantly, use these years to make mistakes. Failure is inevitable. You have to accept the fact you will make thousands of mistakes in your lifetime. Life is seldom about what happens to you, rather how you react to it. Embrace your mistakes, as they are a vital component to success. Remember, mistakes only lead to failure if you let them defeat you. You may not succeed immediately, but if there's anything this year has taught me, it is that each and every single one of you has the grit to overcome. Do not focus on the result. Rather, fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the consistency, patience, and hard work that will carry you to your accomplishments. Classmates, even if you never reach your goals, know that you have not failed if you have devoted yourself fully in trying your absolute best. I'd like to end tonight by talking about my definition of success. Success to me is looking back at my life and having no regrets. When I say do not live with regrets, I mean to not let the moments pass by. It is easy to get caught up in dwelling in the past or worrying about our future, yet we must remember to enjoy the moment. Classmates, look around at this very moment. We are all celebrating the entirety of our lives up to this point. We are together as one with the people most dear to us. We're extraordinarily lucky to be celebrating tonight in person. Appreciate the little things like seeing the faces of one another and not Google icons. For many, this is the last time we will see one another. Whether you've built lifelong friendships, shout out to Pasta Council, or simply had one pleasant conversation, remember the moments we have shared with one another. Life is made meaningful by the relationships we create, and our Spartan community embodies this. They say time flies when you're having fun, and standing here today is an homage to the 4 years that I blinked and are now gone. Just as fast as this day came, will this moment be gone. So remember to always be where your feet are. To quote my statistics teacher, Mr. Pirano, you start in diapers and you end up in diapers, so enjoy the time in between. Classmates, life is just beginning. Do not forget to live it. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary. Your point of enduring the test of time from many challenges will make us all remember that. Dr. Desiato, it is with pleasure that I submit to you for formal acceptance as graduates of East Syracuse Manoa Central High School. The candidates assembled here before me who have met with full compliance the regulations and requirements set forth by the Commissioner of Education and the State of New York. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Donna Desiato, Superintendent of the East Syracuse Manoa Central Schools, to address the class of 2021.
Good evening. Mr. Avellino, as Superintendent of the East Syracuse Manoa Central School District, I am honored and deeply proud to formally accept the class of 2021 as graduates. Congratulations. Before I begin my formal remarks tonight, I want to take a moment to thank Mr. Avellino, the entire high school team that made tonight possible, Dr. Crable, Sue Tormey, Sarah Conway, and the entire team from OCC and SRC Arena. We worked through many, many weeks of many different protocols to be here tonight together, the entire class, and as many relatives, family members, parents, grandparents, and friends as we could possibly arrange in this arena, and those who are at home watching us. Thank you to all who made this possible. Thank you. I also want to thank our nurses, because you did all the testing behind the scenes that we needed to allow everyone to enter, and to Onondaga County for donating every one of those hundreds of kits that we needed for tonight and in the recent months. Thank you to our partnership with Onondaga County and to our school nurses. Graduates, we are proud of you and excited for the promising future that awaits you. This is an exciting occasion, and we are especially proud to share this moment in person. Oh my goodness, in person. With our ESM families, friends, and community. As role models, you have exemplified the vision of our district. Each of you are prepared to excel in a complex, interconnected, changing world. During the unprecedented challenges of your senior year, you demonstrated strengths of perseverance, resilience, connectedness, commitment, creativity, teamwork, leadership, kindness, integrity, and gratitude. Thank you for being such phenomenal role models. Today, we celebrate the culmination of your educational journey at ESM. How quickly those years have passed. We cherish the moments that we have shared with you throughout the years at ESM, years that sparkle with evidence of your growth, meaningful relationships that you have developed, significant accomplishments that we celebrate throughout all of those years and tonight, and now the crowning moment of commencement. Wow, what a year, what a journey. To all the ESM parents, grandparents, family members of the class of 2021, we thank you for your phenomenal support. Thank you. We could never have done all that has happened without you. Thank you to all of our families. Graduation signifies that you have met or exceeded the requirements for receiving your high school diploma. Most importantly, your diploma symbolizes that the education that you have received provides a strong foundation for success in college, career, citizenship, as well as the preparation for the continuation of learning for life. From pre-K through your senior year, ESM teachers and staff members have facilitated your learning, whether in person or at a distance, and they share in the celebration of your achievements. I would like all of the ESM faculty, teachers, staff members, administrators who are assembled in this auditorium tonight to please rise so that we can give special thanks to all of you who have contributed to the many, many celebrations, recognitions, the learning, and all of the other events that have gone on for the class of 2021. ESM faculty, staff, administration, please stand so that we can thank you. Thank you for your extraordinary efforts. Each of our speakers mentioned you tonight. I've received several letters, emails, and other messages from parents and families who have a deep gratitude for all that you have done. So we thank you. We also are very fortunate to have actively engaged alumni. And each year at graduation, we recognize in this moment that many of our alumni are gathered here or they're watching from a distance tonight. They remain connected throughout the world and throughout our country in very vital roles, and they also congratulate you. If you are an ESM graduate, please extend your open arms in welcoming the class of 21. Graduates of ESM, please extend your open arms tonight. There, look at graduates, look at the auditorium, because thank you, ESM graduates. As we celebrate the significance of commencement, we recognize that this is also the beginning of the next phase of your journey in life. We truly recognize and celebrate your accomplishments and your remarkable talents. As individuals, as a team, and as a class, you have worked hard to achieve excellence. In addition to the outstanding achievements, you have demonstrated in countless ways that you are caring, compassionate individuals who desire to make the world you live in a better place for all. We are proud of you. You are prepared to excel. You are ESM strong, and you have demonstrated that time and time again, you are stronger together. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you. Treasure the learning experiences you have shared at ESM and the relationships that you have developed. Knowledge is important. However, always remember that it is what you do with what you know that will make the difference for success in your life. As you set your goals for the future, aim high. Let your purpose be fueled by your passion. Then you will love what you are doing, and you will be doing what you love. We have shared special moments. You were the first class that had a special moment in the way we announced a snow day. 'Twas the night before a snowstorm. And Frosty the Snowman, yes, we had special messages. And you know what? When people asked me why, because I knew it would make you smile. I knew that it would be just for you and you would know it. I don't want you to ever lose sight of the fact that we're only youthful for a portion of our lives, but we can be youthful all of our lives if we remember the things that make us smile. It was also a very special moment for me when the Spartan stage performance featuring the songs of Neil Sedaka invited me as an audience participant to the stage. Well, that evening, Todd and Antonio and company sang Happy Birthday, Sweet 16. I will never forget it. They did not realize it that night when they sang that song, but this is my 16th year as superintendent at ESM, and I will always cherish that moment on that stage with the cast, and thank you for that very special moment. It is my happy 16th year at ESM. Thank you. And so for you, the class of 2021, although I've never ended my speech this way, for you, what the world needs now is all of you. Go and make us proud. We know what you can do. On behalf of the ESM Board of Education, our ESM community, congratulations. We love you. God bless you. You will be in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Desiato, for your words of encouragement to our seniors as they prepare for the next phase of their life. Now the moment that we all have been waiting for, our diplomas. Please join me in the celebration and awarding of the diplomas to the members of the class of 2021.
Zachary Andrew Seaburn. Garrett Robert Hockey. Jordan James Sanson. Gino Carlo Aboud. Abigail Joan Harrington. Caitlin Marie Abbott. Stephen Henry Abbott. Ali Adanovich Abdullah. Grady James Abreu. William Jan Adams. Catherine Elizabeth Andrus. Julie Rose Argento. Caleb Douglas Armstrong. Jordan Michael Awillow. Ibtizam Alawi Badani. Savannah Marie Babb. Dylan James Backus. Emmanuel Francisco Barrientos. Keegan Paul Berry. Juliana Amari Barton. Roma A. Barva. Daniel Jessup Baxter. Caitlin Elizabeth Becker. Haley Jean Beechner. Connor Thomas Begley. Cameron John Burney. Braden Robert Bersani. Dylan Walter Bethka. Emma Jean Beal. Thomas Kavanaugh Bonowitz. Hasib Edem Borick. Vincenzo Andrew Bova. Sarah Elizabeth Brabham. Tyler Michael Bremner. Nicholas James Brown. Isabella Noel Bryant. Matthew Damari Burchell Wright. Jade Alexis Bergen. Lindsay Renee Burton. Eric Ulysses Callahan. Tristan Daniel Callahan. Antonio Nicholas Cambereri. Nicholas Daniel Campbell. Eric Manuel Canales. Haley Renee Canfield. Angelina Francesca Carciofalo. Amber Jean Cardarelli. America Grace Carhart. Spencer Thomas Carnival. Chevy Michael Chafee. Will Michael Chairs. Matthew Choi. Adam Braden Clendenden. Gianna Rose Cocagna. Michael Dwayne Cole Jr. Mackay Bruce Combs. Sophia Sienna Canzone. Faith Michelle Coolbeth. Alexander J. Corbett. Sophia Elizabeth Corsello. Shaylin Morgan Cowell. Aiden Michael Cretero. William George Thomas D'Agostino. Sierra Grace Daly. Kiara Rose Davies. Elena Marie Day. Colin James Decker. Jacob Ryan Decker. Grayson D. Falco. Noelle Grace DeLapp. William Michael Dempsey. Alexander Lee Dendy. Justin Alexander De Niro. Gabriela Oriana Dio. Mia Marie DePietro. Sean Patrick Dotterer. Savannah Lee Dupra. Cameron Raymond Eishen. Casey Engineering. Jillian Margaret Engler. Cameron Nichelle Yor. Jaden James Evans. Matthew David Farnsworth. James Scott Ferns Jr. Sadie Jane Farrow. Bennett Angelo Ferrari. Megan Christine Filmer. Eleanor Faye Fink. Aiden Michael Finnerty. Sean Martin Finnerty. Cormac Stillman Fitzpatrick. Aiden Michael Fredericks.
Rodolfo Alejandro Gonzalez. Olivia Mary Grabowski. Stephen James Graham. Colin Neil Grosnick. Bradley Scott Hall. Bryce James Hall. Noah Daniel Harbinger. Danielle Marie Hare. Suleiman Saddam Mohammed Hassan. Naira Hasanovich. Andrew Michael Heck. Bradley John Harrington. Parker Owen Hiltz. Morgan Ann Hipkins. Benjamin Alexander Hodge. Leah Bethany Hodge. Sean Lorenzo Holmes Jr. Gavin Michael Hoteling. Jeanan Hozo. Keenan Hozo. Abby Joe Hudgens. Jenna Joe Hudgens. Paul Francis Hughes. Hannah Ray Olchansky. Alyssa Racine Hunter. Casey Alyssa Hutchinson. Alexavier John Impaglia. Connor Michael Jacobs. Anna Margaret James. Iron Niel Jimmy Jefferson. Ryan Rayvon Jefferson Jr. Haley Nicole Jones. Maris Usich. Muyo Kadrick. Matthew John Kenny. Milo Charlie Kessler. James Dante Knox Jr. Alyssa Sierra Cagle. Abigail Irene Kokitis. Hannah Elizabeth Kiwanis. Matthew David Cruz. Robert Christopher Lake. Amina Latifovich. Sarah Levkovich. Summer Ann Longden. Rebecca Lauren Lowry. Xavier James Lowry. Kyler Richard McMaster. Natalie K. Madden. Mitchell Thomas Manchester. Brian Marinon. Victoria Ann Marzullo. Devin James Moscato Buffalo. Saraya Teresa May. John Joseph Messina III. Nicholas Anthony Modeleski. Cameron Caitlin Montroy. Christian Michael Moon. Madeline Elizabeth Moran. Rana Saleh Mozeb. Riyad Muich. Jeremiah Cassidy Murnane.
Ariana Rosaline Nagurney. Marissa Elizabeth Oakley. Eliana Elizabeth O'Brien. Aiden Christopher Osterhaus. James Dean Atz. Lily Grace Paddock. Nolan Gregory Palmer. Om Tarun Patel. Caitlin Ann Perrone. Alexander Penn Peterson. Travis James Phelps. Aaliyah Jean Piquet. Terry Lee Joseph Pryor. Nathan Richard Polano. Walik Raheem Reese. Gary Wayne Reynolds. Stephen Michael Ryle. Lauren Erica Rahinen. Dylan Michael Rivers. Mary Elizabeth Roach. Anastasia Rose Rocco Kazaka. Cameron Michael Rogers. Kyle Matthew Rogers. Evan James Rosalove. Nicholas Anthony Rosamalia. Jacob John Rubenstein. Grace May Scalfaro. Katie Jo Schmidt. Helena Marie Scalero. Isabella Anne Marie Seidenfuss. Benjamin Grant Sellers. Allison Jane Shaughnessy. Alec Ty Shaw. Jasmine Azariah Short. Carly Joanne Sloan. Brett Aaron Smith. Cody Lynn Smith. Jaden Gregory Snook. Grace Lynn Stadelman. Aiden James Sternberg. Jessica Riley Stevens. Clement Keith Stevens III. Julison Callista Naomi Elizabeth Stitt. Jacob Benjamin Stone. Nathan James Stouffer. Carson Nicholas Stokert. Natalie Ann Sturrick. Daquan Ramil Sullivan Jr. Caleb Michael Thomas. Isaiah Malik Thomas. Caleb Walter Thornton. Jeffrey David Tiley. Maya Margarita Tucker. Robert Henry Tuffley. Jasmine Sky Tayo. Rachel Chanel Underwood. Got him. Zachary Aaron Usatinsky. Angela Nicola Valentino. Giovanna Maria Vito. Hannah Murray Volcano. Heather Madison Ferraro. Alexis Starr Waclawick. Brandon Kevin Warner. Reed Cole Warner. Haley Bryn West. Dakota Lee White. Jacob William White. Riley Kathleen Marie White. Emily Rose Williams. Nathan Robert Williams. Logan Michael Wolf. Nathan Michael Warden.
Let's give the class of 2021 another congratulations. At this time, I ask that all members of the class of 2021 to please stand. This will be your last official act of the class of 2021. On the count of 3, you'll move your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left side. So if it's on the other side, fix it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class. You may be seated. Please welcome the senior choir members to sing the ESM alma mater. In your programs on the second page, you will find the alma mater. Please turn to that page as we wait for them to come up.
We sing the glory of your name. We raise our voices high. Your song in every loyal heart rings out across the sky. So hail our banner, orange and blue, forever may it be a symbol of true brotherhood through all eternity.
At the conclusion of the graduation of the class of 2021, our bagpiper, Patrick Kemp, will lead the graduates in a recessional. I will now read to you the principal's declaration. By the powers granted to me by the Board of Regents, I certify that all of you who have come forward to receive your diplomas this evening have met all graduation requirements as set forth by the Commissioner's regulations and the Board of Education, and therefore declare you officially graduated on this day, June 25th, 2021.